Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201. And on today's episode, we're here to talk about Supergirl. And we're going to cut straight to the chase with everything. It is super bad. And I just want to say, first of all, there's a lot of bad faith discussions happening about this movie. I want to say first, Millie Alec is not the issue with this movie at all. The problem is not that it's a female-led superhero movie. It's the Millie Alec as Supergirl is not at all the fucking problem with this movie. Actually, her and Lobo are the only saving grace of this movie, because whoever idea was it to launch a Lolo franchise movie with the co-lead being a 14-year-old girl who we are never going to see again, who is so cringy, whose line every time we meet her line is, "I am Ruthie Marino of the whatever clan family," and blah, 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 was fucking awful. And I do not know how James Gunn fucking saw this or the test screenings and everyone was like, yeah, this is good, because I am glad everyone hates it. And the people attacking Millie for the things, bad faith. She is not the issue with the movie, but it is, wow. And look, I liked the CW Supergirl the first 3 seasons, and yes, I know I can't remember what season of the CW Supergirl where they did that stupid make Earth human again plotline, and it got into like this whole woke cringy thing. Because look, it got annoying. This Supergirl movie, right? There is nothing woke or anything at all within this movie. I just want to say, anyone who's saying it's woke, it's a woke fest mess, no. There's nothing at all, quote unquote, like that could be seen like girl power, whatever feminism bullshit that like the Supergirl show did. So anyone who's saying that is a lie. It's a liar, okay? Because none of that is the issue within this movie. The issue comes with the fact is an innocent 14-year-old girl is going to get more hate than like that fucking actress from Star Wars Episode 8, the Rose character, did, because universally I could see in both the press screening that was on Monday and the real screening I went to with real people today. Everyone was like, solo adventure with her for 25 minutes, kind of like how Mando and Grogu turned into a Grogu movie for a while, except like that was the only good part of the Mando and Grogu movie. So I want to like just go deep into the spoiler. Also, this movie, I don't even know the name of the bad guy. I'm just going to call him sex trafficker guy, because this movie is about interplanetary space sex trafficking. That is the plot line of this movie. Okay, very a real thing that's happening. So I'm going to talk about the movie. I'm going to first do, because it doesn't happen in order, but I want to do all the Kara flashback part of the story first, because I think that's actually one of the better interesting aspects of the movie. And remember, this is connected to the James Gunn universe of things. So if you forgot, in Superman, which is true, James Gunn has said it, and Mr. Terrific said it, that Superman was sent to Earth to conquer the planet, right? That the Kryptonians in this version of the DCU are supposed to be bad people. And it's interesting because it feels like that kind of gets lost in the version of Krypton we see in this movie, because what happens is we see her father, Zor-El, and the mother, Alora, have this whole thing, and that apparently the father's about to put this force field shield up because the planet's core is about to blow up. They see Kal-El's pod leave, and they're like, oh, the Conqueror. So it's implied that, yeah, Kal-El was sent to Earth to conquer. But because they know about Earth and the yellow sun and that it would give them powers, right? This is mentioned a lot from Zor-El throughout like the Kara flashback parts of the movie. And Kara, so the force field goes up, and we have the what's it called? Arlo plotline, similar to Supergirl, right? So we have the Arlo situation, the city that they all grew up in, well, like a floating planetary thing similar to Asgard, except what happens is when the planet blew up, the force field happened, the minerals underneath Krypton began putting kryptonite into the plant and water structure they had on fucking Arlo. So everyone on Arlo began to get a version of Kryptonian cancer, and we see it, so they're all beginning to die. Kara was born 8 years into the Arlo world, right? So she didn't live, she wasn't born pre Krypton explosion. She's born in Arlo. So that's all she knows. So she didn't grow up on like real Krypton. What happens is after the mother gets sick, Zor-El is like, I'm going to build a space. I found my brother's plans. I'm going to build a similar space pod. I'm going to send you to Earth. Okay. You'll meet your cousin there and you'll have powers and you'll survive and all of it. I hope you find your cousin. Very good thing. She finds Crypto when she buries her mother, right? She finds the dog. They both go and you see the scene that happens where she crash lands in the Fortress of Solitude. Apparently, Clark was tracking the pod for a month. Kara lands when she is 16 years old. Okay, so she lands on Earth at 16. If it makes sense, but also from what we know in Superman's only been active for 3 years, so maybe this is wrong. She lands maybe when she's 20. And we're gonna get into the whole thing because I like that basically she's a Brooklyn girl and she acts like a Brooklyn girl and all the thing. Also, she lives in a penthouse in Metropolis. I want to know what is Kara's job when she is Kara, because this is something we don't know. We don't see Kara's Earth life, but we know first when Kara first gets to Earth, she's living in a shitty Lower East Side apartment. And at the end of the movie, she lives in a penthouse in Metropolis. So I don't know what Kara does as Kara on Earth. But now let's go to the front of the movie. So we see the annoying girl, Ruthie. God, whatever is it, Ruthie? I'm just going to call her Ruth. And the sex trafficker people come in, and apparently Ruth's family makes basically weapons similar to what happens in Infinity War, the Dwarf Star type weapon that can pierce anything. And he then wants like the pot pie that's being cooked, and then he kills everything. The parents try to fight the sex trafficker guy. They all die. They burn the house down, and Ruthie's just there while the house is on fire. Flash forward to Kara in her fancy spaceship. We pop through planets that all just basically look like either Tatooine from Star Wars or the celestial head that the Guardians of the Galaxy people live in. That's basically where we're like popping through. And every time we pop a planet, it says red sun, yellow sun, or green and yellow sun. She is at a bar. She's drinking. She hooks up her iPod into this music speaker, so the music plays. Some alien tries to fuck Kara. Kara acts like a cute little white girl. She's like, never happening. Then Ruth jumps into the bar and she says, hello, attention. I am Ruth, blah, 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 of the so-and-so clan. I would like to hire somebody to help find the sex trafficker person whose name I still have no idea what the fuck his name is. I'm just going to keep saying sex trafficker person. And I will give you this sword if you help me. Crypto's barking, and Crypto's like, we should help. And then Kara's like, I don't have my powers here. I can't help. So that happens. And all the aliens begin to try, like, just laugh at it because it's like a little 12-year-old girl. One of the aliens just takes the sword and drags Ruth to his super camel horse. Crypto keeps barking, and Kara's like, fine, I'll help. Kara beats up the person. Then yeah, that happens. Beats up the person, and Ruth is like, why don't you help me? And blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, I'm not helping. So then she goes into her ship apartment, and she's listening to, she gets a FaceTime from Clark, and she's like, happy birthday week, because she's now 23. Then Ruth sneaks in, and she's like, please help me. And it's like, why are you here? And they're like playing with the dog on the field. The sex trafficker alien sneaks in, hijacks the plane. Crypto sees it. Crypto tries to attack. Crypto gets shot with a virus. And boom, they leave with the ship. They send the dog to this medic on the planet, and they're like, begins the 72-hour clock down. If you don't, and they're like, well, if I just get him to a yellow sun, he'll heal automatically. But apparently, if he leaves the atmosphere while sick, the virus will spread and he'll die. So that's the whole yellow sun thing. So what happens is Kara takes, this is where I actually thought this was kind of funny. She is waiting. She takes the equivalent of a space jitney Chinatown bus to Hot Planet, and it's like the most ghettoest like looking bus. And Seth Rogen is the driver or the voice of the driver, and Ruthie sneaks in. They sit. They have a conversation. Then they get boarded by pirates. And Kara's just like, listen, shut up. We can do it. Just like let them rob everything. Kara then's like, yo, is there a yellow sun nearby? To the driver, because Kara tries to. Oh yeah, Kara takes her teleportation device thing while she's fighting them because she doesn't really have her strength. And she fights some of them. She ends up accidentally teleporting into the front of the the space bus, and she finds their version of NASA suits, and the evil, what's it called? The evil pirates or fucking hijackers kick Kara out the bus by pressing the fucking cargo button, thinking that kills Kara. Kara, the sun curves and the yellow sun instantly heals her, and Kara kicks their ass and then tortures them. So then they land at basically the bus lands at a rest stop, and Kara has the pirates she's torturing the pirates with the lasers and everything, and she's like, where can I find the guy? And they give the information on some other planet. They go to this 7-Eleven to buy Ruthie a spacesuit because Kara's not going to wait for a bus. She has her power ticket. She can instantly fly. So she flies to what is the Guardians of the Galaxy head planet thing, celestial head that they live in. And she goes to a bar there, and she's like, I want information, wrestle me for it. She kicks everyone's ass. Then what happened? Oh yeah, Lobo, this is where we meet Lobo, and Lobo laughs because Lobo and Kara basically beat everyone up at the bar. Lobo's like, nice drinks, tits, or ditzy tits, because Kara just begins to act like a New York City white girl there, like, I'm sorry, I'm drunk, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, you should control your child sister friend. And Lobo leaves because Lobo's on a mission to hunt the sex trafficker guy as well. And Ruthie's like, maybe he can help us. And no. So the owners of the bar are like, yes, come to our house and we'll give you the information of our friend that can find you in touch so you can get the sex trafficker guy. They give Kara explains some things about Superman. Then they give Kara a drink. The drink is supposed to paralyze Kara, but because this is a yellow sun planet, it doesn't. She drinks milk to throw up, bulimic style, because apparently they were going to trade Kara and Ruthie to the sex trafficker guy to free their daughter, because this race, the sex trafficker people, are a race of aliens that they only can conceive men. So they rape women who conceive their children to spread the breed, but they don't have daughters. They just only have sons. And they carried a ship full of sex trafficked alien women. And Kara learns that and gets very angry. Kara fights them. And Lobo also comes in, and they fight them, and they free some of the sex trafficking people. But the sex trafficker guy kills the bartender people and their daughter. And Kara could have stopped it, but Kara's like sloppy with her powers for whatever reason. And this guy who doesn't really have powers gets away. Ruthie could have also killed and they steal Lobo's bike, and they also somehow imprison Lobo. We learn Lobo is immortal in this universe. Okay, so then Kara goes back to the bar, and she's like, you're going to take me to the fucking planet they're taking, or I'm going to kill you. So Kara then gets taken to the planet, and this is a green and yellow sun planet. Kara immediately gets kryptonite poisoning on this, and Ruthie goes to get water, gets kidnapped. Then this turns into a 25-minute solo Ruthie move where she's right, and Lobo's like, you can't escape, the tips are poison, whatever. Ruthie's like, I want to talk to the sex trafficker king or whatever. I'll tell you where Kara is. And she tricks the guy. She kills the guy. Oh, yeah. Kara has this whole thing that you shouldn't murder people, but Kara murders people in this universe, which I like. Kara has no problem with killing, which is good. I don't know if Clark, I still can't remember if Clark is like really angry with killing. Also, if the Batman in this universe kills people, who really knows? But Kara kills people and I really fuck with that because I like it. There's none of this moral ambiguity thing, especially since this is like a sex trafficker guy. Because Kara doesn't want Ruthie to kill him, but Kara will kill him. Yeah, so that happens. The planet curves. Kara gets her powers back. She fights through all of it. And then there's this cringe moment where some song plays and the CGI is awful and it focuses too much on the annoying fucking Asian girl, Ruthie. And Kara and Lobo work together and they go, yeah, good shit, kid. And Kara gets the anti, which by the way, here's the thing. Kara's taking her sweet time because there's only apparently 6 hours left on the 72-hour clock down. I don't know why she's taking her fucking time. She could have got the antidote and back, but she constantly keeps fucking up getting the antidote. And they free the last bit of sex trafficked women. And Kara kills the sex trafficker guy. And they go back to the planet. They cure crypto. And Ruthie's like, it's still your birthday week. And they party, and we'll never see Ruthie again. This is a very bad movie. For all of the Ruthie aspects of the movie are what makes it bad. I think a Kara and Lobo adventure would have been a fun movie. I think doing Kara maybe like Livewire or something from the C. Like you could pull up a live thing from like the CW Supergirl and that is better. I do not think Millie Alphick was the problem at all with Supergirl. She's not the fucking problem at all with this movie. But this movie is fucking bad. And if I'm James Gunn right now, because this movie may open third this weekend. Toy Story is going to win the weekend again. And it looks like Jackass may fucking finish 2 and Supergirl is going to finish 3. This is a very bad thing because we are now, 5 projects in? We had that weird cartoon. We had Superman. We had Peacemaker season 2. We have this and we have Lanterns premiering in a month right after House of the Dragon ends, right? And we're for Supergirl being the miss. We have Clayface in October and interesting, we're having a Gotham City movie in DCU. Still have no idea who the fuck the Bruce Wayne Batman is of this universe. How old is he? We've only seen like 30 seconds of him in the clip from that cartoon Creature Commando show. So we know he has a Damon and we know he has a Nightwing. Right? But if I'm Gunn, right, after the reception of this movie, and Superman 2 which has Kara and everybody, will be done filming by the time the Paramount Warner merger happens. But if I'm David Ellison, right, and I see, wow, the female-led hero movie bomb, because this movie is going to bomb very badly, right? I'm trying to get all these things into production before the merger happens. We know that, what the fuck is her name? We know, people don't want to admit it, but we know Adria Arjona from Andor is and Hitman is most likely the new Wonder Woman in James Gunn's universe based off how ripped she is in her Instagram photos. And it seemed to be the next project post Superman 2, maybe a Wonder Woman movie, right? So we have Clayface, we have Lanterns and whatever. I would hope to get that in production because right now I don't know what you do. I don't know if you do a Wonder Woman Supergirl thing or whatever you're doing, because all I'm saying, and this is something that bothered me, is that all the superhero movies need to stop the plucky child secondary lead. This was fucking annoying in Black Adam. This is the Marvel's issue come from the fact is Secret Invasion canon or not. Nobody has a fucking idea. We know the original version of Black Panther had Chadwick not die, was supposed to be an adventure with him and the son throughout some going continent to continent to chase Namor. Fantastic, for God's sakes, Avengers Doomsday, the fucking kid, right? We know they're all after fucking Franklin. Okay, so this kid is going to be a fucking plot point in that movie, and boy, God, this is a situation that is a mess. No more children leads. This is fucking bad. The Supergirl flaws do not come from Supergirl. This is a very bad movie, and look, Spider-Man's going to do well, but it's more like because of Spider-Man, and it seems to be a good movie. I am wondering if Doomsday, because here's the thing, if Clayface bombs, because Clayface is going to come out after the merger is done, most likely. If Clayface isn't a critical hit, because the trailer looks really cool, right? And everything, much more better than everything with Supergirl. If Clayface is bad, right? Clayface doesn't do well box office wide or critically. Like if Clayface is bad critically, because Supergirl is bad, going to be bomb both critically and box office. If Clayface is also a bomb, I think the Ellisons are going to step in and maybe, we should kind of course correct on what is happening here. Because this is bad. This is really fucking bad, this movie. And look, Marvel's had a lot of bad movies, right? Ant-Man 3, Captain America 4, Doctor Strange 2, Thor 4, The Eternals, Black Widow, almost every fucking TV show. Eesh. Like, the fact of the matter is, like, Obsession and Backrooms may have a higher gross than Supergirl. Like, Supergirl most likely is out of theaters in 3 weeks because of how bad it is. Because people are forgetting. We have the Minions coming in next week. After Minions, we have the Moana live action, and we have the Odyssey, and then we have Spider-Man. And, yeah. And remember, Backrooms and Obsession are still playing in theaters, as well as Devil Wears Prada 2. Right? Mando is already out of theaters because of how much of a fucking failure it was. So